Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. I'm Belinda Sandor. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. I'm your host, Belinda Sandor, and I'm excited to talk about both tactical and practical advice for your VA business. So come on in. I can see lots of you are joining. That's awesome. Let me hear where you're coming in from. So please put that in the comments. We are live streaming all over Facebook, also Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you are watching from our YouTube channel, please click that subscribe button so you're notified every time we go live because we love to have you. So Lessons from the Cockpit, it's brought to you by the VA Connection. And at the VA Connection, we work with new, aspiring, and established VAs to help them build thriving businesses so you guys can skip the struggle and really just get down to work. And we do this in our free online community, which I'll tell you about at the end, courses, and coaching programs. So today we're going to talk about tips and tricks inside Google Workspace. And I can see this is a popular topic because we have so many visitors here today. This is awesome. Awesome. So let's say hello. Let's say hello. Hello, Maria. Hello, Carrie is here. From Iowa, yes. From South Carolina. From Frisco, that must be Michelle. Good morning. Love learning new tips. Tuning in from Facebook in Central Florida. All right. Kakoya is here. Good morning. Cindy. All right. Sandy's here from Massachusetts. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's just going so fast. Going so fast. Teresa's here from Kentucky. Rose is here. Rain is here from Rochester. Carla from Michigan. Hello, hello, hello. And then someone's here from Wisconsin. All right, guys. So let's get started. So I want to introduce myself before we dive in. So this is me, and I like to call her my little delish. She is on her way home today from Virginia, so I'm really excited to see her. My daughter's name is Emily, and this is us in 2010. So she's 9. I'm just starting out as a VA, and it is not a really happy time. I've got a lot going on. I'm getting divorced. I didn't have a job. I also had a ton of debt. I hadn't been able to pay the mortgage for over a year. And, creditors were calling me all the time. It was really horrible. And the big thing was I wasn't sure how I was going to get out of it because, when you added up the money that I had in the minimum payments, it was not going to balance out if I were to go get a traditional job. So I really had to figure out what I was going to do. And so I thought about, I temped for a while and I thought, I can't make enough money temping. That's working for a temporary agency doing contract work. But I thought if I go out on my own, I can charge the rates that the temp agencies are charging and make more money. So I decided that's what I was going to do. And I started telling everyone that I knew. I'd been a secretary back in the dark ages. The primary skill for a virtual assistant, which I didn't even know that's what it would be called back then. Because remember, this is 2010, right? 12 years ago. But I did know how to do admin work. And I knew how to figure things out. And that's the primary skill of a VA, figuring stuff out. So I decided to tell everyone I knew. One morning I'm at the school bus stop, just like I am every single morning, Monday through Friday with Emily. One of the dads says, what's new? And I say, I am starting a business. I'm doing admin work for entrepreneurs and small business owners. And his entire face changed because he had started a business. He was drowning in administrative tasks like paying his bills, organizing his email inbox, really simple, straightforward things that, most all of us know how to do. But he really needed help. He really needed help with that. So he hired me. And then the next client I got at the buffet line of a wedding, he didn't hire me at the wedding, but he hired me shortly after that. So I want to let you guys know that prospecting is a waste of time. Just, tell everybody you know all about your business, and that's how you're going to get clients. Okay, good. So I've been in business since 2010, which is 12 years. I've worked with over 225 clients. And here's the thing that I want you to know is that The first year I was in business, I made $70,000. And every year since then, I've brought in revenue of $100,000 or more a year as a virtual assistant, just me in the actual chair I'm sitting in right now in a part of my home. Right. And this has allowed me to have a wonderful lifestyle, freedom, location freedom, the ability to be with my daughter and to take care of her when she, came home sick from school. So you can absolutely do this with the methods that I'm teaching. And this is what it looks like today. So big fast forward. This is Greg, my husband. We've been married a little over a year. And these are our kids, David, Charlie, Emily, Stephen, and Andy. And all this whole crew, except Charlie, are all going to be here for Thanksgiving this year. And I'm really excited about it. Okay, so life is really different now. Life is different. My finances are handled. I'm not making minimum payments. I'm not running around, paying bills on the day they're due because, or because I don't have enough money to pay them ahead of time. And it really has settled down. And I know at the core of that was understanding that I needed to be self-reliant, that I needed to be able to take care of myself and learn how to run a business. And that's what I teach you guys here as well. All right, so who's ready to dive into Google? All right, Google's pretty cool. All right, Google Workspace. I have been using Google Workspace since probably 2011, I would say. Back in the day, I used Outlook and corporate, since it was invented, and Word and PowerPoint and all of that. But right around then, a lot of applications were coming out that were syncing with Google Calendar, and that were syncing with Mail. And there was some pretty cool stuff happening that was not available in Outlook. And I absolutely had to move to the cloud. So before that, I had traditional Outlook, which was an application on my hard drive. And then I had it set up so the email would download onto my computer, right? Dark ages, right? A long time ago. So one of my friends, actually the client who was in the buffet line at the wedding, he said to me, you got to switch to Gmail. What you're doing is crazy. I was complaining a lot because I couldn't get it to sync with my phone. It all, driving me nuts. So I moved over to Gmail, and there was some things that I had to adjust to get comfortable. But it was worth it. And it's been great ever since. Now, 365 has come a long way, Office 365, Microsoft since then. So that's also a great application. So don't feel like if you're on 365, you have to abandon ship and jump over to Google. It is a good application as well. But back then, it didn't have the functionality that I needed. All right, so let's talk about what Google Workspace is, okay? Some of you might not know. Google Workspace is essentially, if you sign up for a Gmail account, you get the same functionality for free. Well, we're going to talk about that that comes with your Gmail. So when you look at that whole collection of applications, that is what Google Workspace is called. Okay, Google Workspace initially started in February of 2006, so it's been around for a while. It's had multiple names and it's had multiple applications added as Google expands and as they expand. Now there's a paid version and there's a free version. So let's talk about the difference. The paid version allows you to use your own domain. Let me give you the example. Belinda@rocketgirlsolutions.com, right? That's what the paid version does. Belinda@rocketgirlsolutions.com. The free version will allow me to have the email address, if it's available, rocketgirlsolutions@gmail.com. All right. Everything else is the same. Everything else is the same. I looked it up because I know a lot of you are thinking, do I need the paid one? The reason I want you to get the paid version is I want you to have a professional email address. I want you to have your domain.com. So your first name at whatever your business is that you've registered their domain.com. It's very easy to set up. Okay. It's very easy to set up. And it's really, for the most part, clicking a few buttons. So I definitely recommend that. The rest of the functionality is the same. If you have questions, just pop them in, okay? So here's some of the applications that are included. Gmail for email, Drive is where you would store things. Google Drive, that's similar to, what is it called in Microsoft? I'm trying to remember. Oh, it's like at the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it right now. Meet is for virtual meetings. Calendar, a calendar, right? Chat, you can chat back and forth with other Gmail users. Docs is similar to Word. Sheets is similar to Excel. Slides is similar to PowerPoint. And we're going to talk about Keep. And there are all different kinds of, like I said, applications being added all the time. OneDrive, yes, Microsoft OneDrive. Thanks, you guys. So I want to dive in a little bit more on the pricing, because sometimes I think people get caught here. All right. Now, when you sign up, Google Workspace is going to give you an upgraded version of the service. The only thing you're going to get more is more storage. Okay. So what I want you to do when you sign up is immediately downgrade to basic, because the difference in price, it's double. When I signed up for Google, and the pricing has potentially changed, but it was $6 a month. And then the next level up, I think, was $12 a month. And what happens is, this is human nature, right? You sign up, you get the free version of the $12 a month for 2 weeks or something, and then you forget about it and you just keep moving right along. And now you're paying twice as much for email as you need to. Okay, so I want you to skip the trial or put it on your calendar and go right back in there and downgrade. Okay, downgrade. Now the fee is per email. Okay, per email. So if you're running a business with multiple people having email addresses, then the fee is per email address. What else do I want to say about that? I have been using the $6 version for a decade. And what's going to happen is, if you run out of storage space, you can upgrade right then. You don't need to upgrade in anticipation of needing more storage space. And I store a lot of stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, good. So Tammy asked the question, do you recommend using a Google domain or another, for example, GoDaddy? I don't really have a preference on that. I tend to register all my domains at GoDaddy. I've found their website lines up with my brain in terms of where I find things and how it works. And I've been using it for a really long time. So all of the new domains that I have, that's where I register them. But there's no reason not to do it with Google. That just is a new thing that is recently invented. Okay, so I'm going to jump into a demo right now and bring over this set of tabs right here. All right, and I'm not going to expand it all the way because I don't want to lose my PowerPoint. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is Google Chrome. These applications can be accessed. Oh, let me say this. All of these applications are in the cloud. Okay, so it's not like, the olden days where you would download an application and you'd work on it locally. Everything is in the cloud. And if you don't know, let me tell you why it's called the cloud. I thought this was pretty cool. I used to work in IT, and sometimes there would be a design of the IT department, where the servers are and where the data is stored and all this kind of stuff. I have no idea how to do that, but each type of server or data storage type has a symbol, and the internet was the symbol of the cloud. So they call it in the cloud computing. So that's why it's called that. So all of these applications are in the cloud. Okay. So this is Google. Now, the first thing I want to show you is how to pin tabs in your browser. Now, if you're like me, I have 50 jillion tabs open all the time, and I have 3 screens. So I have 50 jillion times 3. So in order to make it more manageable, what you do is, so I'm going to right click. So I'm going to click right here, right click, and I'm going to click on pin. Now watch what happens. It's going to get small and go over to the left. Here, let me make myself smaller. Okay. Hold on. Let me move this. Okay, I'm going to right mouse click here and choose pin, right? Now that tab is over here. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the one with my drive. Okay. I'm going to right mouse click, pin, and now it moved it over there. So you can see what the applications are based on the icon, right? And so you can just move through them. You can just move through them. And I love doing that because with my 3-screen setup, there are certain there are certain sets of tabs that always are assigned to each monitor. So I know that my email is here and my calendar is here. Other things are, over here. So that way I'm not fumbling. I'm not fumbling looking for my work. Okay. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to, we're going to jump into email and let's just see. It looks like, where'd my email go? See, I pinned these tabs and now I don't know where they are. Okay, hold on. Hopefully this is going to let me right into my email. I had it set up and something must have shifted. Okay, so I just want to choose which email we're displaying. Note from the universe. In case you want some inspiration every morning, go over to tut.com and get inspired there by him. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to make myself small again. Okay, is so we're in Gmail and I want to teach you how to send an email in confidential mode. Okay, it's called confidential mode. So we're going to create a Gmail right here. Okay, and you can see my signature. And right down here, you can see there is a lock. Okay, on the right here, and we're going to click that. And now what you can do is it says recipient won't have the options to forward, copy, print, or download this email. This message may still be visible in your Google Workspace domain to admins or your vault, but basically you're going to decide how long this message is available for. So you can say it expires in a day, a week, a month, 3 months, 5 years. And you can require an SMS passcode. If you click that, it will, and you go forward, it will ask for the phone number, right? So that a code is sent. So probably this would be good for, things that are highly confidential, that you don't want to have passed around the internet, that you want to share the information. I've never used this, but I always thought it was really cool. And I have it in the back of my mind in case something comes up for me or a client, that I wanted to keep something confidential. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is how to send a message later. Now, let me tell you why this is important. We want to set boundaries as virtual assistants, right? We want to set boundaries because we don't want our clients to think we're working all the time, even if we are. We want to decide when they're communicating with us and when they're not. So one of the things that I use all the time is Google Send Later. Okay. So what happens is on the week, let's say I'm working on a weekend and I'm working on the weekend because I want Monday morning to be free, or I just want to clean out my inbox. It's just like a mess in there. Okay. So what I would do is I'd work on Saturday or Sunday, and anytime I wanted to send information to my client, I would schedule it for later. Okay. Because if I send them an email on Saturday, two things are going to happen. One, they might email me back, which I don't want. I'm trying to clean my inbox out, right? The other thing is that they're going to think that I'm available because I'm emailing them, right? And we don't want either one of those things. It's super simple. You just click right here. I'll make myself small again. You just click right here, the little down arrow, and click schedule send. Whoops, I have to put a recipient. So click here, schedule send, and I can say tomorrow morning at 8, this afternoon at 1, Monday morning. So it like next week, right? Or you can pick a time or day. So you can send it any time. Another thing I've used this for is if a client wants a reminder for something, I go ahead and I can schedule it ahead of time. Say a client says, can you remind me on March 1st next year to do blah, 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 blah. I can put it on my calendar, or I can just schedule an email for then. The other thing I want to show you is how to unsend a message. Now you can set this up Here, let's see. I'm going to minimize this. All right, so I'm going to click here under settings, see all settings, and then right here, it says undo send. So send cancellation period. So you can set it for 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30. 10 seconds is generally enough for me. So what happens is I'm going to grab this email again. Okay, so here's the email. Oh, that's okay. And I'm going to say update. All right. And then I'm going to send this email to myself. So soon, I don't know if this is going to work in this mode, but we'll try it. I click send, yes, and then I can undo right here, just click undo, right? Just pops up right there, and I have 10 seconds. You can also set it for, for, like I said, 5, 30, 20, 10. And then right here, the message is showing up again. So I can say, here's the message. And then I can send it again. And then I know my picture is in the way, but I can't move it. It says message sent, undo, view message. And then when you undo it, it just pops right back up again. So that's great if you think, oh my gosh, I needed to put an attachment. Oh, I forgot this, I forgot that. That's a good way. That's a good thing to do. And I do use it. I definitely use it. So that's a great thing as well. Now I want to talk about how this is what I want to say. When I started using Gmail, there were two things that I did not like immensely, like really caused me some heartache. One of them is that I like a preview pane, and that's what this is. So that can be enabled under the inbox tab in your settings. All right. So this is preview tab. So this is the column here, right? And I can see all the emails. And then what happens is as I click on these different windows, like here, see this changes, but I can see all the emails. So this makes it a lot easier for me, because in the traditional Gmail without the preview pane, you see one email at a time and you can't see the context of it. The other thing I turned off under the inbox setting tab in the settings is conversation view. Conversation view, I don't know whose brain works like that, but mine definitely does not, where it nests the conversations. It makes it really easy to miss messages and make mistakes. So absolutely just conversation view turned off. Okay. So these are some important things. I'm just going to look at the chat for a second. Okay. If one person has several emails, is it still $6 for each email or just $6 per person? So it's $6 per, it's really recipient. Because for example, I have Belinda@thevaconnection.com, that's $6. I have support@thevaconnection.com, which goes right into my same inbox. So that's $6 total. If I had that email go to somebody else, then that would be additional $6. George says, I thought I was extravagant with 2 screens. Yeah, this is like my cockpit for sure. All right, let's see. Okay, just looking to see if anybody has questions. You guys, there's a lot of people here today, which is very exciting. Okay, good. Yeah, Sandy says probably the number one question from clients re-Google is how to shut off conversation view. Yeah, what I used to do is very often I used to set up Google Workspace accounts for my clients, and before I even told them their password, I would turn off conversation view, and I would also enable the preview pane, because most of them were coming over from Microsoft Outlook, and that's the 2 biggest things. So turn that off immediately. All right, now I want to show you some other cool things. So here we are in Google Sheets. Now Google Sheets is very similar to Word. The reason I use Google Sheets is to collaborate. So I have lots of documents with clients, with people on my team that we're communicating and we're sharing the documents. When I'm writing a newsletter, for example, I write it in Word. I'm more comfortable there. Google Drive is nothing. It's more difficult for me to organize Google Drive for some reason than it is Dropbox. So that's what I use. But you can certainly use Google Drive instead. So what you're going to do, so what I want to talk about is a really cool way that you can type with your voice. So it's under tools. I have it set it up here already. Tools and then voice typing. Let me minimize myself. So tools, voice typing. Okay, so what you're going to do is click to speak. Hello, I'm sitting here teaching lessons from the cockpit, period. New paragraph. I love Google and Google loves me. Okay, so then I can just turn it off like that. And now you do have to, back in the dark ages when I used to do transcription for people I worked with, they would talk into a dictaphone. What they would say is paragraph, end of end of paragraph. You would have to put in the actual the grammar, so to speak. So you notice I put period. If you just turn it on, and this is a good way, for example, if you want to get a transcript, this is one way of doing that. You can turn on the video and just turn this on. It will be one gigantic block of text. One gigantic block of text. But if you want to speak something and think about it at the same time and you don't want to type it, if typing is getting in the way, this is a cool way to do that. Okay, good. All right. So now I want to talk about Keep. All right. Wait, yeah, Google Keep. Now this is not something that I use very often, but I want you to know about it because it has something really cool called location-based reminders. So Google Keep is a to do, right? It's a task list application. So let's say I'm going to start. You can have a new list. You can note with where you can draw. I will never use that. Or you can have a note with an image. So I'm going to start a list. Okay, or you can have an empty note. So I'm going to title this Trader Joe's. Right, Trader Joe's is a grocery store here. I'm going to say lemonade, hummus. What else do I need? Chicken meatballs. Whoops. All right. Okay, so there's my list. Now I can pin, all right, so here's the thing. So I click remind me right here, and you can pick a date and time. You can say later today, or you can pick a place. So if I start to type in Trader Joe's, okay, now this is just coming from Google. This is not me having Trader Joe's in my address book or anything, okay? So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to save it. So what's going to happen is the next time I drive into the Trader Joe's parking lot, a reminder is going to pop up with what I need, with what I need to buy while I'm there. All right. So that's pretty cool. So here, Jerry's Autorama return picture frame. So yeah, I love this. Because you get in the car and I think, oh yeah, I wrote it down, or I forget the list or whatever. So this is a great way to do that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is let's just move this over. The last thing I want to talk about is how to restart Chrome without losing your tabs. Okay, so there's a couple ways to do this. One is you can just turn your computer off and then restart Chrome, and then it'll say which if you have multiple users, which user, which profile do you want to use, and then it will say restore tabs, and then everything restores. The other way to do it is to type Chrome : here, let me put this in let me just add this as a banner. So it's Chrome : / restart, and then enter. So this is what you would put in the URL line, the address line in Chrome, and it'll restart all of your tabs. So that's pretty cool too. Pretty cool. There are so many more things. I could spend a whole day doing, really cool things in Google Workspace. So if you're wondering, what Google Workspace can do, or you have something you're trying to solve, Google it, right? Google knows what Google does. So thanks for coming, everybody. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to invite you, no matter where you're watching from, to join our free online community. Just search the VA Connection in the search bar at the top of Facebook and click the join button, and I would love to welcome you in. We have over 28,000 members. We have trainings like this many times a week. We've got lessons from the cockpit. We've got the Rocket Girl show. And then we have different trainings that come up. So come on over and join me. I'd love to have you. So until next time, signing off. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrate in the US, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.